streams.
That's right. In fact, they handed out this flyer over the weekend at the game at Comerica Park, warning residents. On the back it says, "Enter Detroit at your own risk." What's up with that?
And getting national attention now. One of the top stories on NBC News and MSN.com. And part of the reason they're doing this is because proposals 1 and 2 on which you will be voting this November.
Well, joining us now to talk about this is Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, and we want to thank you certainly for being with us. Have you seen this? And what's your reaction to it? I mean, this is a scare tactic, trying to get people to vote a certain way on something, but do the facts hold up here?
No, they don't, Carmen. It's really unfortunate. If you look at what's going on there, it's creating a scare with people.
Well, we're talking about what? Proposal 1, emergency dictator law.
Yeah.
They want you to vote no on that. And on Proposal 2, collective bargaining, vote no on that.
Yeah, and my view is just the opposite. I'm very firm that we should be yes on one and no on the rest. And when you look at something like this, stop and ask yourself the question. Detroit, unfortunately, has been a top crime city for how many years?
Forever.
And to say it's been a long time. Yeah. And what we're doing and what we've been doing hasn't been working. So isn't it time we look to make major reforms to move us forward to get better police protection, better public safety for the citizens of Detroit that deserve it? And so that's where the emergency manager law comes in terms of us getting us tools to work with the city. The collective bargaining amendment, which really isn't about collective bargaining amendment, it's about going back in time, would set us back a long way.
But, you know, I think as a citizen of the city, certainly we depend on the police to protect us when we need them, and we certainly want to know that they're there. But when they tell you that, you know, this is going to happen if you don't pass these two, protect away that.
Yeah, well, again, that's where I hope people really look at the facts, because not only the flyer, but the ads on TV, there's so many misleading ads in terms of extremism, different examples, just facts that aren't right.
So not just Proposal 1 and 2.
No, it's just not 1 and 2.
I think people are waiting, Governor, to see the benefits of having your oversight, the state oversight, the consent decrement. You had 2 big initiatives that I think you thought were going to end some long-running problems in Detroit. One for the lighting problem, which obviously goes directly to crime. The other for Belle Isle. And both of those appear in deep trouble. Lighting dead in Lansing at the moment. And Belle Isle, because I think that there was a miscalculation on including the council. So where do you show people, look, the state's involvement here, your involvement here is going to make things better?
Well, there are a lot of cases. If you step back and look at Detroit Public Schools, there's been a lot of improvement there. Roy Roberts has been doing a very good job. You look at attendance, kids are showing up to school now. A lot of positive things are going on. And if you look at those 2 cases, a lot of it is the city working within the city itself. Again, if you look at Belle Isle, for example, it's really a case of it's just about communicating and working through some process.
So I believe that is really, that proposal is not really dead in the water, but right now City Council wanted to be advised first or perhaps included in the final decision making.
Right, and again, we look to the mayor on how to interface with the City Council because, again, it's their relationship. The same thing on Detroit Public Lighting. I've been a supporter of that from very early on. The real question there is the Detroit Legislative Caucus wasn't on the same page as the city government.
And the citizens.
And so this is that old thing about you don't change 40 or 50 years of problems, of misunderstanding and challenges overnight. And that's why I believe in relentless positive action. We're just going to keep working with the city in a positive way, saying how do we solve these problems together.
But quickly, we just talked about 2 of these proposals. Yeah. What about the rest of them? There are a number of proposals on the ballot this year.
Yeah, if you go through, again, the first one is about the emergency manager law. It gives us an early warning system to hopefully avoid emergency managers. If you have a manager, they can come in and do their job, get out, and get done. That's a better answer. So it's yes on 1. All the rest are constitutional proposals. And if you look at it, there are 2 levels. One is these kind of issues really don't belong in the Michigan Constitution. They're issues that should be dealt with in the normal process. And then secondly, if you look at the details, they're bad public policy. For example, you can go to 3, which is the 25 by 25, the renewables energy thing. It sounds really good, but it doesn't belong in the Constitution. We don't even have a national energy policy.
A lot to
So it could cost us a lot of money. And then the bridge on 6 is just a bad answer. And a lot of misleading answers on 6. So we need to build this bridge, which would be a no on 6.
It is a complicated case. You're trying to make it easier. Obviously, if you would tell people yes or no on all of them, you've got to get them to try and...
well, that's why I have the simple answer. Yes on 1, no on the rest. It's very straightforward, and I'm ready to back those up with facts. I've done videos, and that's why I appreciate the chance to talk, because to clear the air from all this misleading information.
And you will be at town hall meetings throughout the area leading up to Election Day, and so people will get a chance to ask you why you want them to vote yes on 1 and no on all the rest.
Absolutely, because again, it's about good leadership and good communication, because I love town halls where we have a good dialogue. So if you guys want to put together a town town hall.
This is starting
I'll
to
be
feel
there.
like that.
We will. And thank you for today's dose of RPA. The governor is a relentless